Hello, my amazing second grade artists. Today we are thinking about our secondary colors. They're the colors that we mix when we use two primary colors. Specifically, we have orange, which is mixed by using red and yellow. We have green, which is mixed by using yellow and blue. And we have purple, which is used by mixing blue and red. We are going to make our very own secondary color monsters using shapes and lines. And then we're going to use those secondary colors again in the background of our super cool works of art. Let's get started. For this project, you are going to need a fabulous piece of paper. I recommend starting with a pencil, and then I'm going to be modeling this with markers, but if you need to use a different supplies, that is okay. So we are thinking about those secondary colors, green, orange, and purple. Our secondary colors are created by each mixing two primary colors together. So for orange, we make orange by mixing red and yellow to get orange. For green, we get green by mixing yellow and blue. And then for purple, we get purple by mixing red and blue together. So our secondary colors, like I just said, are made from mixing our primary colors together. Today, we are going to be creating some secondary color monsters. We are going to be building these monsters using the element of art shape. We are going to be including some line work, some pattern work as we color things in, just to make things a little bit more exciting. So I'm going to start with my first monster. What kind of shape should I use to make this monster? Those are all great ideas. I think I'm going to use a half oval. So I'm going to start with like an upside down letter U, and then I'm going to connect it with a straight line. I am going to bring a straight line up in the middle to divide the bottom half here into two legs. And I think I'm going to repeat some more half ovals for my monster's toenails. I'm going to use a upside down rainbow line for the mouth. I'm going to use a half circle for its nose, and then I'm going to use some ovals, kind of working in a theme here, for my monster's eyes, stacking a small one inside the big one. For my monster's arms, I am going to bring a curved line down really long, like it's a gorilla, and then I'm going to bring a curved line up and connect it with a straight line. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm curving, line goes down, then I draw kind of a letter U around it and connect back in with a straight line. You'll notice it's not perfectly symmetrical, and that is okay. All right, that's monster number one. For one of my three secondary colors, I need a second monster. What shape should I use for this one? Those are all great ideas. I think I'm going to go with a triangle, and to make it a little bit different from the first one, I think I'm going to make my triangle smaller and make it really high up in the air. I'm going to drop down 4 vertical straight lines that I'm going to use for this monster's legs. I'm going to connect those with some horizontal straight lines to make them into rectangles, and then I'm going to put a little triangle at the base. I'm going to use an upside down triangle for my nose, and I'm taking some inspiration from a cat. I'm going to make a letter Y upside down below that, and then I'm going to stack a pair of big and small triangles together for its eyes. I might add triangles as ears, or I might just leave it, and maybe I have some really long whiskers. Again, you can use whatever combination of lines and shapes you would like to build your monsters. Make sure that you are using some shapes so that you have an area to color in. For my next monster, I'm going to do kind of the opposite of this one, and then I'm going to make this one really short. I think I'm going to use a rectangle. And then I'm going to give him really short little stubby legs using some more rectangles, kind of working with the same shape. I'm going to give him some little rectangle toenail details. And I think I'm going to give him some little side arms and a top. I'm going to use a kind of castle line for its mouth, kind of similar to if you are a player of Minecraft, the creeper's mouth kind of look like that if I remember correctly. I'm going to stack 2 rectangle squares together to make its eyes, and then I want you to give your fabulous character some sort of background. So you're going to draw a horizon line, that's where your sky meets the ground, that goes across your entire paper. Then you can decide where your crazy secondary color monsters live. I think mine might live, I think today I am going to put mine in the mountains. So I'm going to have a really big mountain and then maybe a smaller mountain. And I'm just creating them with a Y there and a diagonal line that comes down, really filling the whole background. I think it would be interesting to have some clouds to really make these monsters seem like they're really big and also seem, just adding a little bit more visual interest here. Maybe I add a zigzag line on the mountains to add some more details. And at this point, I am going to do some outlining with my marker. Today, I'm just going to use a washable marker. You may also use the permanent marker that I gave you. If you use that permanent marker, please, please, please make sure that you're protecting your table and putting a protector sheet underneath. For this part, I'm going to fast forward. Once I'm done tracing with marker, I will be going over things with my eraser to clean up any extra pencil marks so that my work of art looks really fabulous and has some great craftsmanship. Alright, now we're ready to color each of our fabulous secondary color monsters with a secondary color. Our secondary colors are, again, purple, green, and orange. Like I said before, I'm going to be working with marker. You may use whatever materials you would like to use, but I'm going to model this with marker. So for each one of your critters, I'd like you to pick one of the secondary colors, to be its primary color, and then use the other secondary colors for the smaller details. So, for instance, my fabulous orange guy over here, my fabulous oval guy over here, I might go with orange because orange and oval kind of sound the same. They start with the same letter. So maybe I use orange as my main color for my cool monster here. I'm going to do my best to color neat. For my finishing details on my monster, I'm going to use the other secondary colors. So I'm going to use maybe some purple on my monster's toenails and nose, and maybe in the outside of my monster's eyes. And I might use green, the other secondary color, on my monster's arms. Alrighty, now I have two monsters left and two secondary colors. What color should I make this monster? That's a great idea. I think I'm going to be using the color green for the primary color of this monster. So I'm going to color carefully within the lines in the body of my secondary color monster. And I will use the other two secondary colors as those kind of complement or accent colors. So I'm going to use purple for the legs here, and then I'll use orange for those small details. I've got one last secondary color left, so this one's primary color is gonna be purple. And I will use the other two secondary colors as the accent colors. So I'm gonna use some green and some orange. To finish off, I will fill the whole thing with using the secondary colors. We're really focusing on those. Again, those are green, purple, and orange. When I'm done coloring, I will post a picture of my fabulous artwork to Seesaw. I can't wait to see what you create.